If you've been watching those videos of people regrowing their hair with derma rollers, stop right there. While the regrowth might be worth it, it's not for everybody, and there's key techniques involved to make sure that if you do it safely and appropriately so you actually regrow hair. Hey everyone, I'm Andrew, co-founder of Anagen and HairDAO. I've been working with countless patients and studying hair loss now for years. And over my time, I've come up with these 10 key facts that everybody needs to know about derma rolling and microneedling. So I'll discuss that in the rest of this video. So before we get into my 10 facts about microneedling, I wanted to step back and just give you a high-level overview of what microneedling is, or derma rolling. So at a high level, it works via a process called hormesis, which you can think of as the concept of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. By creating micro injuries throughout the scalp with a microneedle or a derma rolling device, you are recruiting various growth factors and other reparative factors to the area, which not only serve to heal the injury you've created, but also rejuvenate hair follicles and other tissues in the area. So as I've covered in other videos, like the one about minoxidil and microneedling, you can really experience amazing results if you use microneedling in combination with your other hair loss topicals. Think finasteride, think minoxidil, and the sum of the parts can actually be greater when combined than either sort of treatment do on its own. Microneedling can be great, but if you don't use proper technique, proper hygiene, and the frequency is off, the needle depth is too deep, there can be serious issues, which we'll touch on in the rest of this video. Fact number 1. Longer needles can actually damage your scalp. People might think, oh, I'm gonna tough this out. I'm gonna go as deep and hard on my scalp as possible, and that'll result in maximum hair regrowth. Actually, the key of microneedling is to create micro injuries. And so if you go too deep, you will essentially create an injury that is too big and actually damages the hair follicles versus just recruiting these reparative growth factors to the area. I would recommend 0.5 millimeters to 1.5 millimeters absolute maximum. Probably I would keep it beneath 1 millimeter. Fact number 2, daily microneedling can actually result in increased hair growth as well. This is another sort of symptom of people who really try to grit it out and they say, like, I'm gonna take all the pain so I can get all the gains and regrow maximum hair. If you microneedle on a daily basis, you will create chronic inflammation in the scalp, which is terrible for hair regrowth. I will also add on top of this that the deeper needle you use, or the longer needle you use, probably the less frequent you should microneedle, as you're creating sort of bigger wounds to the area. Generally, as a matter of practice, I would not recommend microneedling more than once a week. Fact number 3, shedding at the initial stages may look scary, but it is a totally normal part of the process. This sucks because whenever you start any hair loss treatment, you sort of have to go through the valley of death, if you will. It starts getting worse before it gets better. While we have some theories as to why this is the case for all effective hair loss treatments, including minoxidil, finasteride, and microneedling, we don't know exactly for sure, but the theory is that you are sort of pushing these existing hair follicles that are sort of in this catagen-telogen phase, you're pushing them through that phase and making room for the new hair follicles coming in beneath them in the anagen phase. Again, that's more of a theory, but unfortunately, the best way to know if a treatment really has a good shot at working is if you do experience an initial shed. Fact number 4, there are much better options out there than a derma roller. While a derma roller or a dermal stamp, they are both the cheapest options, so I understand why they would be popular. Derma pens, the mechanical pens, are actually the best devices by far. That is because the needles stay in a concentrated area and go into the skin at a perpendicular angle. Derma rolling, or even derma stamping, which is flat while your scalp is round, will create the dynamic of needles going into your skin at an angle, which can essentially increase the amount of tearing, which by proxy increases the amount of fibrosis or scarring in the scalp, which, as we've touched on, is bad for hair growth. So I've used this in my other videos. I really do enjoy using the Dr. Pen device. It works well for me. But again, it is more expensive, so there is that trade-off. This is the Dr. Pen device was sort of voted on in a poll by our Discord community. I don't have a sponsorship, it's just a good device. Fact number 5, microneedling works even better when combined with other treatments. So I've touched on this a bit earlier in the video, but microneedling will work particularly well with minoxidil. I've made an entire video about this. It will also work really well with other topicals like finasteride, potentially T3 as well. And so this just generally is my philosophy, where I think, hair loss is a polygenetic condition. There are a bunch of different mechanisms at play that could be causing this hair loss. And so when you can hit your hair loss from as many different mechanisms as possible, that is a net good thing. So microneedling is working again via this sort of mechanical pathway, these micro injuries. And then minoxidil probably works via opening of potassium channels, upregulating of Wnt signaling, and finasteride is working via inhibition of DHT. So these are all different mechanisms, which actually makes them very synergistic in my opinion. And it is why when you look at microneedling plus minoxidil, microneedling plus finasteride, you see great results. Microneedling plus finasteride and minoxidil. So that is generally something I would look into. I would be careful in terms of not applying your topicals immediately after microneedling, as that could cause unwanted irritation. So maybe give it something like 24 hours before applying topicals after microneedling. Fact number 6, microneedling can make your skin more sensitive to UV exposure or sunlight. So you're going to want to sort of keep your scalp out of the sun for about 24 hours after microneedling. You're going to want to sort of avoid putting any products on your scalp again for those 24 hours. That doesn't just include hair loss topicals, but I probably wouldn't shampoo or condition immediately afterwards. If you go outside, I would use a hat. And these results, or this need to avoid products, typically it'll resolve itself within 1 to 3 days maximum. And again, I would say the results from doing this are worth the minor inconvenience. Fact number 7, at-home microneedling is gentler, but probably less powerful than the microneedling you would get done in the clinic. This really applies to people using dermarollers, which are going to be just less powerful than the mechanical pens and the more advanced medical devices used in clinics, where you have an experienced professional doing the microneedling on you. I don't know how much of a difference there is between sort of the more advanced devices like the Dr. Pen, but generally I think with enough practice, watch a couple YouTube videos, for example, most people can do this at home on their own. I know that getting microneedling with a physician can be super expensive, and that's typically prohibitive. So I would give it a shot on your own and let the results speak for themselves. Fact number 8, alcohol-based products immediately after microneedling can harm your scalp. This touches on, a lot of hair loss topicals involve alcoholic bases, which again can cause redness, irritation, swelling at the scalp site, which is exactly what you want to avoid. I would recommend at least, again, 12 hours, but if you're using above 0.5 millimeters, I think everybody should if they really want to get some good results. You really do have to wait the 24 hours. Fact number 9, not cleaning your device or replacing your needle cartridges is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Again, you are puncturing the skin and then leaving these needles out in random places. This could cause serious infections, which could be highly, highly inflammatory. And Lord knows what the infection could cause, downstream, which could then trigger a form of hair loss. So you've just counteracted all of your hard work there. It is really important that you are cleaning these devices thoroughly. Use alcohol on the actual devices. Replace needles after one use, I would say. It's very easy. I feel it myself. I get lazy with my device. Do I really need to order a new needle? That's like more money, whatever. I would really recommend it. It is not worth the potential infection. Fact number 10, if done correctly, microneedling is one of the highest ROI, one of the most convenient hair loss treatments that you can actually do for yourself. Now, when I say sort of convenient, yes, it can be painful, but it is a one-time purchase up front. The needles can be relatively cheap, and there is real results. There is real data behind this stuff. And not only will it work on its own, but it is synergistic with the other topicals you are taking. So if you're really serious about regrowing meaningful amounts of hair, the ROI on a microneedling device is super high, and so I really would consider it if you really want to maximize your results. It's going to have such a bigger impact than so much of the other stuff out there that people are wasting their money on. Think rosemary oil, for example. I couldn't recommend it enough.